Huge honour. I get it. Huge honour.
Hello everybody, I'm Huge Honor, and it's a huge honor to welcome you to episode 14 of our Crystal Hunt playthrough with the Audible Lore mod. Last time we noticed that starting to get very few lore pieces per dungeon run, so I've decided that I'm just going to run through a few, but only cut together a compilation of the bits where I find the lore. That should help us speed up finishing the Eridan lore. Anyways, hope you enjoy.
General Garriton, a major shard trafficking network was uncovered in Iltia. Our spy network arrested a few traffickers who were fleeing the city. During questioning, one of the traffickers revealed he has been in contact with one of your soldiers currently fighting in the Northern Campaign. He died during questioning, but we managed to extract some information. This soldier is selling shards in our rank. We did not manage to figure out their name, but we know that they have been contacting each other via coded messages in their letters. Find them and execute them publicly. Before you do, however, do not forget to extract the names of soldiers who have been corrupted by their shards. They shall all be hanged and their bodies displayed in front of the camps as a warning sign. Eridan does not take treason lightly. Let this be known. Once united, eternally united. Queen Alstea Velarin.
Yeah, and this is the note that I was speaking about, revealing that some of the messages are actually codes. We know that the soldier is Parian Lunetta, and he's the one who has got the shard trafficking network. But obviously the Queen doesn't know that. He's trying to get out of the area.
Kemenet was believed to be the only one able to wield a powerful sorcerer's sword, the Sword of Nam. Once found, this mythical weapon would grant them unlimited control over sorcery across the land. Naturally, the most corrupted among us were the ones to seek the sword, believing themselves to be the Kemenet. This created major conflicts and constant threats in our lands, but this turmoil may have spread across the entire continent. At the Dalgarian Preservation Society, we believe this sword to be real, due to numerous Dalgarian scriptures we excavated over the years. For King Alderac, this sword was a threat, an artifact of pure evil that would corrupt anyone who touches it.
So it seems we're only missing 3 more Eridan Kingdom lore, and if we look at what the last one was that we got, it's the study of our origins, 3 out of 6, so we're still missing 3 of them. What I've noticed is that they seem to appear near the King Aldric statue, so that's probably why we've been so lucky not finding anything, because we're literally missing 3 more pieces of lore that can only spawn in a specific spot. So I've gone ahead and just restarted the dungeon until I found, it says here, well, I'm in the Arena CC Chapel. And yeah, so that's why I was sure that this run will be a good one. But like I said, I'm gonna supercut them together anyways.
His Majesty, King Aldric, believed the Kemenet to be nothing more than a legend meant to protect the power of the few and maintain injustice over our lands. However, he still believed the sword existed. The sword posed a threat to stability. Corruption could devour the land, and with it would slowly dye our pure hearts. King Alderic, therefore, ordered all documents related to the disciples of the Kemenet destroyed, as to obscure the legend and location of the sword.
So I've gone ahead and just restarted the map with the same seed, so hopefully that means get the next piece of lore now.
With this, the likelihood that a corrupted sorcerer would learn about the legend and seek the sword was very low, and he was surprisingly thorough with wiping out the teachings of the religion, as the Dalgarian Preservation Society so far has not found any documents relating to its location. Despite my love for archaeology, I believe King Alderic's decision was the right one.
And here we are, the 3rd time. I just reloaded again.
We go.
And hopefully that means we'll get the last one, and then I guess we'll just finish this dungeon.
However, King Aldrich did not stop there. Corruption was everywhere, and needed to be destroyed. Fortunately, this coincided with the discovery of the sorcery negation devices left by the Dalgarian Society. With those, sorcerers could finally be fought by the pure-hearted, and soon, the battle against corruption was won. Sorcerers fled our land, and those who stayed are under our control thanks to the devices. King Aldrich deserves his status as the Legend of Area. From being its founder to purifying its land, King Aldrich deserves to be celebrated as a saint. Rain Valentir, Master of the Dalgarian Preservation Society.
There we go, and that completes not only this dungeon run, but also our quest to find all the Eridan Kingdom lore. I think we've got one more left in the Eye, a bunch more in Dalgarian, and a few more in the Dalgarian Preservation Society. I think most of the Dalgarian Preservation Society is actually Brienne's story, her journal through the Dalgarian world, which I believe is also found in the Dalgarian dungeons. So I think that leaves us with that. Let's do some more Dalgarian dungeons. I think we're gonna go a different way, because we're actually not... We don't really need to fight every single person. We just want to rush through and find as much lore as possible.
Let's make this.
Oh, Speedy Gonzalez. Alright, I don't think there's any lore here. Oh, this is a big one. Hopefully that means there's lots of lore around. I say let's first look through this house here. Lots of loot. It's good, I suppose. Here we go.
Syndanic's PMN Level 3 Maintenance Operating Training Manual. Chapter 115A Emergency Power Convergence Mainframe Shutdown. Use Case 1. Hadlesa combustion in any submodule. 2. Personal exposure to the Syndano core rod. 3. Exhaustion chamber misalignment detected during the firing phase. Preliminary warnings. This procedure bypasses 2 structural safety checks and creates an excessive load on the main and secondary support Sankar-Rex structures. Absolute care must be taken when performing this emergency shutdown, as any malfunction in the inner Hadlesa networks of the support structures could potentially lead to the destruction of the whole PMN structure. This conception flaw was identified much too late in the construction. There is unfortunately no workaround. Therefore, before entering the core chamber, ensure that the readings on the network probes are nominal. If it isn't the case, performing this procedure is strongly discouraged and must be done only in cases of absolute necessity. Required tools and personnel. 3 source tech specialists are required for the operation for optimal execution. However, the procedure can be achieved by a single person over more time. Since this is meant as an emergency procedure, it is recommended to be fully manned for an optimal result. The source text specialist will need Komdalarim imbuing toolings, Sankalarim imbuing toolings, Bayularim imbuing toolings. These tools are required for flashing of all submodules. Please refer to the module's reference sheets to know how they should be flashed. Procedure. In order to perform the shutdown, 3 modules must be flashed in the correct order. The order is crucial for the shutdown to succeed. Not following the right order would result in the shutdown being cancelled. Flash the Laminal Accelerator module. Flash the Impulse Collapse Chamber module. Flash the Plasmatic Superposition Distributor module. Once the flashing has been performed, the main accelerator should shut down with its characteristic sound. See Training Manual Level 1, Chapter 1.5. The convergence core rod will be safe to interact with within a few seconds only. However, due to potential condensator malfunctions, please ensure that at least 2 minutes have passed before attempting any rod removal procedures.
Alright, that one's another juicy one, and as you might have been able to tell, that one's voiced by me. So this one highlights how we can do a shutdown sequence of the PMN, and by now I'm sure we figured out that the PMN is the tower, and the convergence rod, we don't quite know yet what that is, but I think we can safely hypothesize that that should be the Sword of Na. And we can remove it only once all these 3 submodules have been disabled. So, we've got in that other court ruling one, we've got the order of imbuement from one of the modules, but we're still missing the other 2. Here we go. I think this might be a bit more of the story from Brian.
Ryan, we
Nope,
have
it's
set
not.
up our observation points in the planned location in order to triangulate our observations. The astronomical lenses are set up. It should be no trouble to determine how much time we have left before Kaiosma becomes a serious threat to us. How's your search going? I suspect we can end sooner rather than later. Fine.
Alright, not Brian, but Dalgarian Preservation Society. Again, this is a Farron who's a scientist. I've heard from her before. And they are realizing that the proximity to Kaioswa is getting more and more dangerous. The cataclysmic incident will happen not too distant in the not too distant future. Therefore, they need someone to be the Cabinet. And as we just heard, that means they're actually looking for someone whose sorcery abilities are significant enough that they can be the Cabinet. And I don't know if you remember, but at the very beginning of the game is actually Ryan who's got us on this path of trying to become the Cabinet. So, as a matter of fact, not only are we being tricked by the Dalgarians, but even though the Dalgarian Preservation Society knows what's up, the truth, they are still willing to sacrifice us. Okay, that should be it. I don't know if there's any more lore. Is this the exit? It is the exit. Let's just double check that we haven't missed anything. There's a building here. I don't know if you can enter it. No. Nothing on top. We've been in that one. Oh, there we go. There's something else.
What a day. So many discoveries. I found the locations of 3 ancient Dalgarian machines, including one I know well. We have a similar one at the Preservation Society. The only difference? This one is infused with sorcery. It glows and moves by itself. What could explain this difference? I'm new here, so I don't want to give my real opinion to my mentors. But I think that everything seemed to be more and more related to sorcery over time. Here, seems like every day things glow brighter and brighter. I don't know. This almost makes me want to believe in the old prophecy of the Cabinet that the Dalgarians believed in. More and more sorcery. A bright light in the star. Was their prophecy all real? Well, in any case, I should keep this to myself. It's not really something I should say publicly in Eridan, if I want to keep my head on my shoulders. The silence is heavy in these ruins. I think it's beginning to make me a bit crazy. Just the other day, I thought I heard footsteps echoing in the corridor. Maybe I'm not so alone here in the end.
Yeah, that's the Brian's journal that I was talking about. There's quite a bit of story, and that's only the beginning. So I think we just got unlucky only finding rooms that have Dalgarian lore and not any of the DPS lore.
may you witness the Kemenet cycle.
I believe we've had this one before, but actually, as a matter of fact, this exists in 2 separate times, so that's probably the second one now. Yeah, but this run turns out to be quite juicy. I guess if we got more into the residential areas more, we would have been able to get more lore beforehand. I don't 100% know how these areas are determined. Maybe what we can do is, rather than finish these Dalgarian Ruins in the next episode, we just keep restarting with a new seed, or with the same seed like we did this time, so we can finish off maybe next episode. So much loot. I'm stuck. Ooh, that was probably not a good idea. Right, here we go. Let's eat some more. So I think we finished off our gravity. I want a bit more mind. Yeah, another thing to consider is for the other ending that we're attempting here. As we heard earlier, we need actually all 3 imbuing toolings, but we've got that already. Fire, lightning and gravity. So otherwise, if you don't have that, you should make sure that you get at least tier 1 of each of the spells at least. I think what I'm gonna do is, since we have one more eye lore as well, let's add that at the end there. If it takes too long, I'll just cut out the fighting, but otherwise, yeah, next episode we can focus on just the Dalgarian and finish it off, hopefully. Here we go, finally.
The sorcerer that butchers our acolytes has intel on where to find crystal cores. If they are the Kemenet, then we absolutely need to stop them before they gather enough. They are moving fast. The Dalgarian Preservation Society must be guiding the Kemenet. The Society wants to enslave us. They want sorcery to disappear and let their inferior blood rule the world. The Society must have formed a pact with the Kemenet in exchange for their protection. The Society must be destroyed. The Society and all their knowledge. We should seek crystal cores before the sorcerer can find them.
Alright, and that concludes our eye lore as well. And this dungeon. So, anyways, thank you guys for watching, and as always, it was a huge honor.